Welcome back to our explainer series on the engineered path to financial independence.
All right, today we are getting into the real nuts and bolts of your money. We're focusing on 2 steps in the Golden Path strategy that are absolutely critical, and, as you'll see, pretty much inseparable.
You know that feeling, right? You get to the end of the month, you pull up your bank account, and you just stare at it, thinking, wait, where did all my money go? It seriously feels like your paycheck just evaporated into thin air. That right there, that's the feeling of being a passenger in your own financial life. It's like stuff is just happening to you. And that friction, well, that's what happens when we have to stop dreaming and start looking at the actual numbers.
So, for anyone just joining us, let's talk about where this system comes from. It was all developed by Tamir Kaham, the creator of the YouTube channel, The Golden Path to Financial Independence. And he's the architect of this whole 13-step framework. What's so unique here is his background. He's the official Hebrew translator of The Richest Man in Babylon. So this strategy is this really powerful blend of modern systems engineering with that kind of ancient time-tested financial wisdom.
Okay, so in our last explainer, we wrapped up stage 1. That was all about laying the psychological groundwork, right? Making that huge mental shift from employee to asset owner. Today, we are officially crossing the threshold into stage 2, building financial resilience. This is where we go from the big picture vision to the down and dirty mechanics, from fantasy to the cold, hard reality of the numbers. So let's get right to it and tackle that disappearing paycheck problem. The answer lies in the next 2 steps of the Golden Path, and we're covering them together for a very good reason. They're basically 2 sides of the same coin.
And here's exactly why we're grouping them. Just think about it like a trip to the doctor's office. Step 3, which is financial mapping, that's the diagnosis. It's the honest, totally objective look at what's really going on. Then step 4, the conscious budget, that's your treatment plan. It's what gives you the path forward. You just can't create a good treatment plan without an accurate diagnosis first, can you? It just doesn't work. Now, before we even get into the how-to of this, we have to talk about the biggest thing that stops people from doing step 3, and that's shame. We have to completely reframe this whole thing. It is a diagnosis. It is not a judgment.
So here's the absolute key to getting this right. Looking at your finances is not like getting sent to the principal's office. It has nothing to do with you being a good or bad person. It's a medical checkup. From an engineering point of view, if your finances are a mess, it's just a system design problem. Simple as that. You know, when a doctor finds high blood pressure, they don't judge you as a person, they diagnose the system so they can find a fix. That is all we are doing here.
So probably the best way to think about financial mapping is to imagine you're on a ship in the middle of a storm, and you're about to turn on a giant lighthouse.
I love this lighthouse metaphor because it's so perfect. A lighthouse doesn't make the storm go away, and it's not going to calm the waves. But what it does do is light up all the hidden rocks. It shows you exactly where the danger is and reveals the leaks in your own ship. Without that light, you're just crashing around in the dark, wondering why you keep sinking.
So what actually goes on this map? Well, it has to be a complete, no-holds-barred snapshot of your financial life. No hiding anything. That means every single source of income, all your fixed expenses like rent or your mortgage, and all your variable expenses. And yes, that includes those sneaky subscriptions you totally forgot you were paying for. And finally, a brutally honest list of every asset and every liability. Okay, so you've turned on the lighthouse. You've mapped out all the dangerous rocks. Now what? Let's move on to step 4. And we need to talk about probably the most hated word in personal finance, budget. Let's be honest, when most of us hear the word budget, we immediately think of a prison. We think of restriction, of being deprived, like it's some kind of miserable diet for your wallet. We have to completely flip that script. A conscious budget isn't a prison, it's a permission slip. It's giving yourself permission to spend money guilt-free on the things that you actually value.
And this is where it all connects back to the really important work we did back in stage 1. A budget isn't about punishing yourself today. It's about consciously, intentionally funding the future vision that you've already created for yourself.
This brings us to the one question that becomes the filter for everything you do with your money. It's the asset owner question. And for every single dollar you spend, you have to ask it, does this spending move me closer to my vision of financial independence, or does it move me further away? This is the tool, the mechanism, that you use to bring that vision from step 2 to life.
Let's make this super practical. Imagine your map shows you spend $1,000 a month at restaurants. Now, the old way of thinking would just scream, "Stop eating out!" But a conscious budget is smarter than that. You might dig in and find that 500 of that was for amazing dinners with friends that brought you real joy. That's a conscious want. You keep it and you enjoy it guilt-free. But maybe the other 500 was just mindless impulse takeout because you were tired. That's the money you can now redirect to your goals. See? It's not about restriction. It's about precision.
So this system breaks all your spending into 3 simple categories. First, you've got your needs. This is survival stuff, rent, groceries, keeping the lights on. Then you have your conscious wants, things like that planned dinner with friends. And then you have the villain of the story, impulses. This is the automatic emotional spending. The goal is never to eliminate your wants. The goal is to hunt down and eliminate the impulses so you have more money to spend on what you truly want.
So when you put these 2 steps together, the map and the budget, something really powerful starts to happen. You're not just tracking money anymore. You're building a complete steering mechanism for your entire financial life, and your role in it is about to change big time.
Think about it like you're driving a car. You are the driver. Your vision from step 2, that's your destination on the horizon. Your financial map from step 3, well, that's your GPS. It shows you exactly where you are right now. And your conscious budget from step 4, that's your steering wheel. It's what lets you aim the car and actually drive towards your destination on purpose.
And this right here is how you make that massive identity shift we talked about. You stop being the passenger, where you feel like money just happens to you, and you'd rather just not know the details. You become the pilot. You make the choice to know exactly what's going on, and then you make the choice to direct it. You stop just reacting to impulses and start allocating your resources like a pro.
Okay, before we recap, I have to put up our important disclaimer. Please remember that all of this content is for educational purposes only. This is not personalized financial advice, and we can't guarantee any specific results. Your success is going to depend on your own execution, and you should always talk to qualified professionals.
So to wrap it all up, remember, your financial map is just a diagnosis, not a judgment. Your budget is a permission slip, not a prison. The whole game is about eliminating those wasteful impulses so you have more money to fund your big vision and still enjoy your life. Put them together and you go from being a passive passenger to the active pilot of your own life. And in our next explainer, we're going to get into step 5, cash flow stabilization. If you want to go even deeper on this stuff, you can find the full podcast series by searching for Deep Dive Golden Path. And of course, for all the visuals and the complete series, head over to the YouTube channel, The Golden Path to Financial Independence. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Are you ready to stop being a passenger and finally grab the steering wheel